What's going on, guys? I think we're live. Excellent. Excellent for a Thursday. Love to be live. Hey, what's up, guys? I got a question that I want to know how you would answer. It's actually a question that I ask on one of my intake forms, and I see a theme. A lot of people are answering in a very specific way, and I get it. I get the lens that they're looking through, and I want to know how you're going to answer this question through another lens that I want to give you the opportunity to look through, okay? So we did a training a couple days ago, and it was a ton of fun. Had a lot of people on, had a lot of great interaction, and I was teaching about markets, okay? And I drew out, I had on a PowerPoint slide, I had, oh man, this marker sucks. I had the three markets. Man, I'm not using that. Can you see that? I'm gonna grab another black one. If I have it. Golly. That's better. Okay, and I'm not, this thing's kind of unstable, so bear with me. There are the three markets, okay? And your product or service is going to fall in one of the three markets, right? So we said wealth, relationships, and, you guys remember? Health. And so I also asked the question, hey, which one of the three does your service fall in? Well, obviously health. And then I started talking about sales message, what's a little bit different, and which category that falls into, and those kind of things, which I'll teach again. That's not really the point of today. The point of today, hey, your product falls into health. And then we started talking about how there's two different oceans. We talked about the blue ocean, so we consider these oceans. And then we started talking about the fact that, and I'll briefly recap, when there's competition, it turns into a bloody red ocean. There's a lot of fighting and things going on. And so these markets turn into red oceans. And so what you want to be able to do is niche down and go to a, golly, what is wrong with these things? I'm not using that. Dang it. Go niche down and instead, gosh, throw it away. I'm having all kinds of problems with my markers. Niche down and go to a make your own blue ocean. And if you understand that, put hashtag blue ocean. And by the way, if you're watching this live, put hashtag team live. And if you're watching the replay, hashtag team replay. And the reason we're going to do that, the more likes and comments that this post has, the more people in the group see it, and the more we get to help each other. And obviously that's what we're here to do, right? So go ahead and do that. If you have comments or questions, go ahead and I'll check the comments here and there as we go through this training. But I want you to be able to look through a different lens when answering this question. And if you ever see it on an intake form from me, or just in general, just answer it in general. I think this is really going to help your sales message, okay? And so we talked about on that training, this is going to make a lot of sense for the people that were on the training, and it may be kind of a deep dive for the people that weren't. So I invite you to watch the other videos that'll get you more acquainted with these ideas. We talked about blue oceans and red oceans. So all these big markets are red oceans. There's tons of competition. I mean, how many people are selling health, right? So there's nutrition, there's fitness, right? Nutrition, fit. So you got those. I mean, how many, just in nutrition, so these sub-markets, how many people are in the supplement business? Well, a ton. So this is even a red ocean, right? And so then they just start niching down and niching down and niching down. Well, for health, not nutrition or fitness, your office is professional services. A doctor, right? Professional services. And how many professional services when it comes to health? How many are there? Well, there's a lot of them. Maybe you go to the medical doctor. Maybe you go to the chiropractor. Maybe you go to an osteopath. Maybe you go to a PT. Maybe go to the eye doctor. There's a lot of professional services. And then you say, well, that's competition. So then you niche down and you say it's chiro, right? And then you may even say your corrective care, whether it's CBP or whatever technique. I'll write CBP. That's all the room I have. I think you guys can see that. And you niche down and niche down and niche down, right? And the further down you niche, the blue ocean, the more of a blue ocean you get to create, and you're the only one fishing in there, tossing that line in there, and you catch all the fish, and that's awesome. That's cool, right? So the red ocean, red, and it just starts to turn blue as you niche down, niche down, niche down, right? And so this is a very fine, thin submarket or niche, right? So these are huge, huge oceans, right? Tons and tons of people in these oceans, right? So you got the advertiser, you got the seller throwing their line in here, so everybody's in here, and then we just start niching and niching and niching down, and there's not as much competition, right? And so what the question, here's the question that I'm asking on one of my intake forms. It's this: list any competitors in your industry. And if I'm to ask you that question, tell me the competitors in your industry. Most chiropractors are gonna list out what? All the other chiropractors in their town. And I see it really repetitively, right? You think, well, gosh, we're competing, trying to get a chiropractic patient. And here's what I invite you to do. Not compete with other CBPers, right? Keep this a blue ocean for yourself. And not even coming back to try to get people out of this ocean to come get into your ocean. Don't go to this one. This is not your competition. They're not. I don't care where they are, what technique they're doing. There are more people in a different ocean. Come back to here, right? And we talked about the personalities or personas of the red ocean, and there are 3 personas. And the one you want to go after is the one that hates the current vehicle, the current red ocean they're in, but don't know of another way, right? So maybe you're going into this ocean, the professional services, they're going to the medical doctor to get their prescription, but they hate it. And that's the person you want to go into. Are you going to find that person in this? No, you're not going to find that person because they already know about chiropractic because they're there. So where do you need to go? Here. You need to throw rocks at this, professional services, or even go back to health and pull them back into your blue ocean. So the whole point of this, and I know I've touched on a lot of things that are actually really deep, very fast. We've done this in less than 10 minutes. I want you to know that, yeah, we have these 3 markets, and you can niche down, niche down, niche down, but other chiropractors are not your competition, right? If they're going in here, for example, here's one. If they're going back into this professional services and then pulling people here, right? They're getting people out of the medical realm and bringing them to chiro. But if I come back to this one, professional services, and who owns that ocean? I called them the category king. Who owns the professional services? It's the medical doctor, right? So who do you want to throw rocks at? The professional service, the idea, not necessarily a certain person or a place. It's just the idea of taking a pill, right? So instead of us saying, hey, let's just compete with other chiros over the scraps from the medical doctor, let's just go head to head with that idea, the medical community, taking pills for all the ills. If that's our sales message, hey, you don't have to take a pill for that. And I'm talking to the number 1 persona, meaning the person that hates that vehicle, the pill. If I'm talking to that person, all I got to do is say, hey, there's another way. But the only place that I'm going to find them is at least here, if not way back here. So we don't have to compete with chiropractors. They're not our competition. We're not going to find the person that is just going to insanely follow us, do whatever we say, go wherever we tell them to go. We're not going to find them here. So list any competitors in your industry. It's not them. It's the idea of taking a pill for every ill. That's your competition. It's not even the medical doctor. That's a person. It's the idea of taking a pill for every ill. So what's your sales message? Hey, you don't have to do that, right? Throw rocks at that idea. Hey, you sick of doing that? You don't have to do that anymore. There's another way. Boom. That person says, I'm in. You got them. There's nothing else to say, right? We don't have to go promote ourselves with Facebook ads and say, hey, come in on the cheap, which is ridiculous. We don't have to do that. We say, hey, there's another way. And for that person, they're going to have enough value because they hate the vehicle they're using. They will pay. They paid for the prescription, right? Something came out of their wallet. They paid for that. They spent time going to the medical doctor. So they're spending their time and their effort and their energy and their focus and their money. They're spending somewhere. And if they hate it, they're going to have value. So what are they going to do? They're going to reach in their pocket, pull out their wallet, and hand you their card. We don't have to go cheap. You got to make sure you're in the current, you're fishing out of that right red ocean. It's not this one. It's professional services. It's the idea of taking a pill. Hopefully this was helpful. If this was helpful for you in any way, let me know. Put hashtag helpful, and that'll tell me, hey, you guys are enjoying this content. If you have any questions about red ocean, blue ocean, market, submarket, niche, sales message, products versus sales message, if you have any questions about any of that, leave a question below and I'll make sure to answer. And I look forward to seeing you on the next live.